Yeah, I'm happy to cover that. As I was on the towing committee, and it's been, in my opinion, it's been a slow and painful process. We met originally in May. We met on June 6th. We met, I think June 6th was the 2-hour meeting. As you know, Mayor, I sent an email following that it did not seem like the intent of the committee was to do an RFQ. There was mention of just amending the current contract. You did reply that an RFQ was going to go out. You did say that was I don't want to say priority for you, but you confirmed that this council and yourself agreed that an RFQ would go out. And again, this council passed it in August. We met early July prior to the July council meeting, which is about an hour. We went through some items, and then July 16th was our next scheduled meeting. Multiple members of the committee were unable to make that, so that meeting was canceled. On July 24th, Clerk Bauer sent out an email to individuals asking about their availability, and nobody replied. And I'm going to say I didn't reply either, and I have my reasons, which I'll cover. But I've asked for information from purchasing, from PD, from Corporation Council. I have not gotten it. I'm disappointed in that. I do want to officially resign from the towing committee because I honestly don't feel like it's a productive committee. And I will say I drafted an RFQ that I'll send you early next week. I used the 2016 version that went out. I did make some modifications. I tried to highlight as much as possible of the changes that I made. But I think, again, this council, this has not been bid out in a long time. We passed it unanimously, and the time is upon us, and we do not have a committee-developed RFQ.
Sure.
Council.
Thanks for that. I brought that up. I want to talk about it too. So, yes, we have met on the committee, and for different reasons, meetings were rescheduled. I think, between all of us, some of us had conflicts, all of us had conflicts on different days. So I don't think it's any reasons why it was, not, the last one is not scheduled. I think it was because of the election too. So, but my take on it is that the RFQ should be written by the committee, not by one person. And I think that as we were going through each thing, and I can understand why you're saying that you might want to resign, because my take on it was when we're talking about it, we should not be going at a lesser standard than what we already have. And every conversation ended in, well, we can take this out, we can take this out, we can take this out, and made it less of a service. So I don't think that your RFQ would be representative of the committee as a whole. And I think you could reach out to the rest of the committee on that. But I would say that needs to come from the whole committee. So I don't think that you should submit one for all of the committee, when I can say that most of the meetings we could not agree as a committee.
Sure.
Council.
I would like to respond to that. There was nothing that me personally took out of any contract. I had actually said with the services, people indicated, well, a current vendor does this and this, and I said, so put it in there. And I think the 2016 RFQ, RFP encompassed all of that. So there was nothing taken out. Again, yes, there were, it was distance from the border of the city. The 2016 version did say 1 mile. I think the mayor had indicated 5. I've done my research myself. 5 does give us the most options to get a bidder. And we could choose. That could be a factor on distance. That doesn't have to be that you're going to automatically go with someone with 5 miles, but when you're trying to get competitive bids, you need to have enough people to be able to bid. Writing something where only 1, 2, or 3 vendors qualify limits your pool, and it limits the opportunity to get to meet the best service, the best bid. So for me, I did not take anything out. I had expressed, questions on why certain things were in there. Why did we set 300 parking spots? Because to me, making data-driven decisions, just throwing something out there to say, well, it has to be 300, well, why? And we did get some historical data that we had asked of how many vehicles are normally on the lot, right? And then you can base a decision, because if you only ever have 50 cars, then a vendor doesn't need 300, in my opinion. But none of that changed. Again, administration can do what they choose with it. It's just my version, and again, the administration can choose. There's no other option though. We're August 7th, and the media committee was nowhere near getting to a final RFQ. Just my opinion, not speaking for the commission.
So I don't think that a RFQ should be submitted when you have a committee by one person in the committee. And some of the things that I took, exception to were some of the questions that were being asked, like why do there need to, why are you going to hold people to a criminal history? Why can't there be a parts vendor? Why just things that we've known and it's proven that are not good, and we would be doing a disservice to our residents to take those kinds of things out. So those are the things that I was hearing that I took exception to. Also, I think that I don't think that I had heard that that people were going out to different vendors and talking to them and asking them to submit bids, and I thought that was highly unusual. Is that happening?
I have not visited any towing vendors. I have
Can
called.
you say that again?
I have not visited any towing vendors. Yeah.
Okay.
I believe other council members have.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was, while we're, in a committee trying to put something together and getting all of our thoughts together, I had heard, so I may be wrong,
Yeah, absolutely.
that somebody on the commission
All
was
right.
soliciting, I'm sorry, Chairman, I'd like to finish.
I know, I just want one person to
Okay.
speak at a time.
Okay. And soliciting bids out there, because I had mentioned, let's go to some of these places together. Oh, no, I don't want to do that. I don't want to go out to these places and see them. I'm like, okay, but then I hear that that's happening. So I'm like, what is going on? This is a committee. This is a group of people, and we're putting our heads together to come up with a document. So I don't understand why you took it upon yourself to create one or to use one and say you're going to submit it. I didn't understand that.
Chairman.
Because that's the first I heard of it right now.
I do want to address.
I know you want to,
Yeah.
but what I'm seeing is you two
No,
like
and I
turning
know,
toward
I
each
just
other and turning red.
I want to state something. One, asking data-driven decisions is appropriate. So asking why, and it was in the RFP, I said, what's the history on not going with a a company that gets in salvage? They had an answer. I agreed. I was like, that makes sense. That's included in the RFQ. Criminal backgrounds, my question wasn't, I'm in HR, you absolutely should do criminal background checks, especially in a business that has access to people's personal property. That was never the question. My question was, what were the parameters? And then are you just excluding someone? I'll be honest, when we got towing data on the committee, we got 2016 data on a couple towing companies of why we shouldn't have went with them because somebody had a criminal background check. That was my reasoning of saying, first it's 2024, so using criminal data from 2016 is irrelevant because we don't even know if those employees are still there. So that was my reason for those questions, and then I would have appreciated if you heard I was going out. I did have to call places because, quite honestly, I asked for towing data vendors multiple times from city staff that I didn't get. So yes, I did my own research.
So let me.
Not solicitation of this.
Let me interject here, all right? The council in February said that an RFQ would go out. There is a proposal from that I believe will be submitted, and I've been asked to put it on the next agenda. If that committee has a counter proposal, and you can't say, well, I'm not going to have it tutorialized. If it appears we have two council members and two different opinions on where we go, and I believe we as a council should weigh in on the language. Forget about the advisory committee, right? We can say, well, because they haven't provided anything. You can't be mad at somebody if they didn't do their homework. You're like, well, you can't hold me to not because I didn't give you anything.
Not true, Chairman. They have given everything we've gotten, everything that's been asked for has been provided, along with those names within the 5 names within the 5 miles, right? They gave us those names. Yes, they did.
Do you have it?
I do.
Okay.
I do have it. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
So I don't think that we should, have a committee meet and put their heads together and use all the documents and get all the information together. And then one person comes to council and tells the well, I'm gonna submit this one, and you say, forget about the committee. What is that
I didn't
about?
say forget about the committee.
You did.
You have a deadline.
You
It
said.
will, it will be on, if you have a proposal,
I will have one for you.
that,
And you should
and
submit both of them.
that's what I'm saying, right? But this council, 6 months ago, said that we needed a proposal and it was gonna go out in August. We told the residents, and they've come into this meeting so many times, wait until August, wait until August. Guess what? It's August, and I'm not gonna wait until September ends to, get done with this, right?
Sure.
We need to get this out and get it rebid. That is the formal action of the Taylor City Council, that we said that we would go out and get this rebid.
Chairman,
Yes?
okay, so I would like the advisory board opinion to be considered, in this process. I don't understand you're saying, you just said, forget the commission.
No, I didn't.
I swear you did. Okay.
I didn't. What I'm doing is I'm giving you a hard deadline.
Okay.
I'm giving you a hard deadline. The councilwoman can submit her proposal. The commission can submit their proposal. What we can't do is kick the can down the road beyond the next council meeting. All right? So it's, again,
Have you resigned? Did you resign?
From the joint committee, yeah. So, I mean, the joint committee is welcome to fill
Thank you.
these.
and so within, the normal, right, the executive team has to submit their